It's not about being pretty, rich, or even smart, and no one else will tell you this. You need to understand yourself before any woman will fall for you. Here's the truth. Most guys aren't good at this. Don't believe what you've been told about dating. It's not about getting fancy gifts or trying to look like the guy in the magazine. Women are really interested in how emotionally strong you are, how you can stay cool, centered, and unwavering. Believe me, no amount of pickup lines or self-confidence tips will help you if you don't get this right. In fact, they might make things worse for you. If women have ever avoided, rejected, or passed over you, it's because they see something you don't. You can't control yourself. That's why they're walking away. The good news is that you can make her want you without even trying, if you learn a few simple Stoic rules. This isn't just another movie with dating advice. This is the key to getting her to love you. The first step is to take control of your mind, feelings, and how you act in the world, not her, or what she wants. Are you ready to finally win this game? Let's get started. The truth is that most men have been lied to about what makes women want to be with them. People tell you to chase women, give them gifts and praise, or even worse, pretend to be someone you're not. Then you question why she's not interested, why she's going out with someone else, or why things don't work out. I'll tell you the truth. You're doing everything wrong. Some people say that dating is like a game where you have to get her attention. But the truth is that the more you try to win her over, the more you lose yourself, and she can tell. Women can tell when you're trying too hard to please them, and the more you do it, the farther away she moves. Now is the time to stop chasing and start attracting. To really attract her, you need to master yourself. I want to know when the last time was that you felt like you had full control over your feelings, thoughts, and actions. Most men respond to everything around them, like her moods, what she says, and the tests she gives. But what if I told you that the key to not only getting her attention, but also keeping it, is to master your inner world and become mentally stable? Stoicism is not a trick. It's a way of thinking that has been around for a very long time. Now you may be thinking what this old idea has to do with dating, right? Everything. You don't have to hide your feelings or turn into a robot to be stoic. You just have to learn to control them. When you stop reacting to everything and can stay cool and centered no matter what, she starts to notice you. Not the flashy or always trying to make her laugh guy, but the man who's grounded, knows who he is, and doesn't need her approval. If you could go on any date or serious relationship with the calm confidence that makes her feel safe, that would be amazing. Imagine that while other guys are nervously stumbling over their words, or trying to show off or impress her with jokes, you're there, calm, not trying to get her approval, but just being there. That's strength. That's what makes you stand out to her. Women want to be drawn in, not chased. This is a big truth that no one wants to talk about. When you stop trying to grab her attention and show your worth, she starts to feel something different. It gets her interested. And most importantly, it makes her want you. Why? Because you have self-control, which is something that almost all guys can't do. It's the secret tool you didn't know you needed. It's not about tricks or manipulation. It's about becoming the kind of man who draws women just by being himself, not because of what you say or do. Everything will be different once you get good at this. You'll stop worrying about what to do next and trying to impress her. Instead, you'll become the man she wants to be with. Also, guess what? It's not hard. If you learn these Stoic principles and how to use them in your daily life, everything will change, including your love life, your relationships, your job, and even the way you see the world will all change. Things get better. Let's get started if you want to learn how to become the kind of man who gets respect without even having to ask for it. You now know how powerful Stoicism is. Let's talk about words, which are one of the most misunderstood parts of attraction. To get a woman's attention, most guys think they need to come up with smart lines or comebacks. I'm here to tell you that's not true at all. You don't have to be smart or funny to say the right things at the right time in a way that gets to the heart of the matter. Let me explain. Women hear comments like, "You're so hot," or "You're so beautiful" all the time. These things don't even register with her because she's heard them so many times. It doesn't hurt her. But do you know what she doesn't hear very often? Kind words that aren't just about how she looks, but also about who she is. Step 1. Start using her name in conversation. It may seem easy, but believe me, this is one of the most powerful things you can do. There is something deep inside her that reacts when you say her name. It makes her feel known, special, and important. You don't want to use her name in every line though, because that sounds forced. Plan ahead and drop it in at key times, like when you're complimenting her directly. She'll think she's the only one in the room. Step 2. Tell her you like her in a way that no one else does. It's easy for guys to focus on how a girl looks, but if you want to stand out, compliment her mind, her knowledge, or her character. Don't just smile and nod when she talks about something she's really interested in. Show her that you're paying attention. Say, "I love how passionate you are about this." It's rare to meet someone who thinks so deeply about things. When someone says something nice about her, it makes her feel really seen, which is exactly what she wants. So here's the thing. Women want to feel truly unique, not just a little bit. They want to know that you see them for more than what's on the outside. Most guys fail at this because they're too busy telling jokes or stories about themselves to show off. You, on the other hand, are different. You are letting her know that you see her differently than other people do. Step 3. Practice gratitude. Sometimes people forget about this, but it's really strong. Girls know you notice when you thank them for little things. Do not ignore her kindness if she does something nice for you. Instead, thank her. Saying thank you isn't enough, really mean it. Since most guys take their girlfriends for granted, showing her real thanks makes her feel important. That's a big deal. Now, I'm going to talk about something that most guys do. Stop saying sorry too much. This mistake is made all the time by guys who say sorry for things they didn't even do wrong to escape conflict or keep the peace. I want to tell you something. Saying sorry all the time makes you look weak. Women like men who take responsibility for their deeds and say what they mean. When you need to, say sorry. But don't say sorry for being yourself. Words are important, but they're not the whole story. What you do is even more important. It doesn't matter what you say. If you don't follow through, it's game over. That's where being tough comes in. Stoic philosophy says that you should be careful about what you do and base your decisions on a calm sense of security. Action 1. Master your body language. It might seem simple, but a lot of guys mess this up. You may not be aware that your body is always sending messages, moving your weight around, fidgeting, or avoiding eye contact are all signs that you're worried or not sure of yourself. And why should she believe in herself if you don't? To start, you need to calm down. Keep your shoulders back, stand tall, and firmly put your feet on the ground. You should seem calm and sure of yourself, not tense. The other big one is making eye contact. A lot of guys either don't make eye contact because they're nervous, or do it too much and seem too serious. Hold her look for a few seconds at a time, just long enough to show that you are there, but not so long that it gets awkward. This is the Stoic way to deal with it. It makes a strong bond when you do this right. Action 2. Move with purpose. When was the last time you walked into a room? Did you rush in, hang your head, and look around nervously? You're not the only guy who does this. Most guys do it too. But here's the thing. If you move quickly and without thinking, it means you don't trust yourself. There is a lot of ground beneath every step that Stoic guys take. You're in charge of your own place. There's no need to hurry because you're sure that you fit where you're going. The way you move and carry yourself makes women notice this. Moving with purpose shows that you are strong and sure of yourself. You become the kind of guy who isn't affected by his surroundings, which is very beautiful. Action 3. Small gestures, big impact. Don't think that you need to do big, emotional things to win her over. The truth is that the little things, not flowers or candies, are the most important. That's what I mean by showing her that you're interested. She may have talked about her favorite author a few weeks ago. Give her a book by that author as a surprise. Or, if she told you about a problem she's having, talk to her about it again the next day. These little things show her that you're interested, that you're listening, and that you really care about her. Stop trying to be the entertainer. A lot of guys think that telling jokes and stories will keep women interested. But here's the deal. Women don't want a clown. They want a man who will listen. Be the guy who is fully present and listens more than he talks. Don't try to be the life of the party. Believe me, that looks a lot better than being the funny guy. How to use Stoicism in modern relationships. We'll talk about what to do when things don't go as planned. Hey, life isn't always easy. The date might not be going as well as you had hoped, or she might be pulling away and you don't know why. In these cases, most guys would freak out, but you're very calm. You don't let outside events affect your inner peace. Scenario 1. Things are not going well on the date. The talk might be awkward, or the place might have messed up your order. A lot of guys would try to make things better and make the night just right. But a Stoic man doesn't need things to be perfect. He just stays cool and doesn't care about the little things. He knows it's not about what's happening, but how he deals with it. Seeing that you don't get upset over little things will make her feel better about being with you. Scenario 2. She starts to pull away. This is tough, and most guys mess up here. Most men freak out when a woman starts to move away from them. They text and call more, trying to figure out what went wrong. But here's the thing. That makes her move away even more. A calm man knows that he can't change what she does, but he can change how he reacts to it. He doesn't chase after her, so he steps back and gives her room. She sees that you're not like other guys in that moment. When you don't need her attention so badly, she starts to come back. This may not make sense, but it does work. Women like guys who don't need them. It changes everything when you show her that you're not afraid to lose her, and that you're sure of yourself no matter what. all of a sudden, she's after you. Stay true to who you are. It doesn't matter what else you do if you're not true to yourself. You've heard this before, but let me explain it in a way that makes sense. Being honest with yourself doesn't mean being lazy or content. It doesn't mean you don't want to get better or grow. Knowing your flaws and loving yourself anyway is what it means. You have to be that person all the time. Do not try to be the person she wants you to be. Be the best person you can be, and trust that the right woman will be pulled to you. You don't need to chase women when you're good at yourself. You stop trying to find ways to make them like you, and instead focus on living your life with strength, purpose, and meaning. Amazing things happen when you do that. Women start chasing you, not because of what you say or do, but because of who you are. The main point is to stop chasing women. Don't try to impress people. Do not play the game anymore. Instead, master yourself first to become the kind of man who easily gets what he wants. Be the rock that everyone else leans on when things go wrong, and watch as your whole life starts to change, including your relationships and job. You now know how to get into her heart. It's not about fancy moves or corny lines. It's about getting better at being yourself. By using what you've learned, things will change for the better. Sign up now if you're ready to take this even further. Together, we can keep building the life and relationships you deserve. In the next part of this video, we'll dive into 10 powerful Stoic rules that will make them regret ever losing you. Have you ever thought about what it would take for them to really regret leaving you? It was as if, at the moment they turned their back, they had no idea how empty their life would become, or that they were leaving someone who gave them meaning and light. They thought it would be easy to move on, but they didn't know that every day would make the silence of your departure louder, filling the empty spaces in their lives. What if, with a little help from our wise Stoic friends, you could become someone who is so tough and clearly strong that their regret always makes them think of what they've lost? Seneca, our wise Stoic gem, once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Being turned down wasn't the end of your story. It was the friction that showed you how strong you really were. If you follow these Stoic principles, that rejection will become a source of strength for you, making them regret leaving you. Never forget that the moment they leave you is only the start of becoming someone they'll wish they had stayed with. Imagine them going over those times again and again, wishing they had known how valuable you really were sooner. Take a mental picture of the sorrow they feel when they realize the treasure they missed is now shining brighter without them. If you think that movies are the only place where people change, my friend, you need to watch this video. It will break all of your old ideas. Yes, this video will make you someone they can't stop thinking about. Someone who doesn't dwell on the past, but instead becomes someone they feel terrible about letting go of. Today, we're not just going to talk about how to make them feel bad about losing you. We're also going to talk about how to take back your power in a way that makes you stand out. Now, we're going to talk about 10 strong Stoic rules that will help you rise above, feel more confident, and leave an image that they can't forget. Friends who are calm, before we start these 10 rules that will change your life, please give this video a thumbs up. Why is this important? So when you respond, YouTube knows that this content is useful and shares it with more people who are looking for help, like you. And the world works to help you when you help other people. If you hit the like button, subscribed, and helped other people, the world will start to help you. Are you ready, friend? Let's go. Have you ever thought that the fact that someone left you could be the best thing they ever did for you? It may seem strange or even frightening at first, but give it some thought. People who leave you often think they're going to something better and leaving you behind. Would you believe me if I told you that when they left, they gave you the keys to a transformation so strong that they will wish they had never let you go? You see, most people think of being turned down as a loss, a mistake that makes them less valuable. But what if that rejection was actually a turnaround? What if it forced you to face the parts of your life that needed work and helped you find skills you didn't know you had? Imagine that while they're off chasing the next shiny thing, you're quietly turning your pain into strength, building a version of yourself that is so strong and sure of herself that their decision to leave starts to look like the worst thing they've ever done. Most people don't realize this, but when someone goes, they don't just leave a hole in your life. They leave you with a chance to fill it with something much better. It's a chance to start over, to rise from the ashes of that relationship with a fresh sense of direction and purpose. They might think they're over it, but what they've really done is set you up for your big comeback. Let's do the opposite now. What if you stopped seeing their leaving as a failure and instead saw it as the beginning of your biggest growth? They might have thought they had all the cards when they left, but they have now given you the winning hand. If you rise, change, and start to shine with a new kind of power, they'll start to feel the pain of the choices they made. It's then that they feel bad, because they realize the person they left behind is now the one they can't forget. This isn't just about getting over someone. It's about becoming the person they'll always wish they had lost. Are you ready to use the keys they gave you without meaning to and start a change that will make them speechless? Let's start with a short statement that will help you stick to your plan. Do this. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say, "I am stronger than tomorrow." Put it in the comments now. That way I'll know you're paying attention and that I'm not just talking to the air. I'll know I'm talking to someone who really wants to become the person they'll always regret losing and go through a change that leaves them speechless. Number 1, never chase back. Friends, the first rule for making them wish they hadn't lost you is easy, but very effective. Never go after them again. It may seem like common sense and advice you've heard a million times, but I can't stress how important it is enough. If someone you love leaves you, you might want to chase after them and try to get them back by any means possible. When this happens, we generally become their personal puppets, giving up our own dignity and doing everything we think will make them like us again. But here's the hard truth. Chasing them will only make them dislike you more, which will make them want to stay away even more. Imagine that your partner decides to leave, and you start calling, texting, and trying to see them right away. You're basically pleading for their attention. You might think this shows how much you care, but it only makes you look more desperate. Desperation doesn't look good. In fact, it's the fastest way for them to stop respecting you. You're making them think that they were right to leave because you need them more than they need you to chase them. Take a look at this. When one person in a relationship becomes too open or eager, the balance of power often changes. You're giving up all your power by going after them. You're telling them, "You are the prize, and I'll do anything to get you back." But what if you took a step back? If you didn't chase after them and instead focused on your own worth and growth, would that give you back your power? This is where Stoicism's wise words come in handy. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by ignoring things that are out of our control." You can't control someone who has already chosen to leave, so you can't chase them. You can't change what they decide. What you can change is how you react to it. How are you going to make this a part of your life? First, you need to change the way you think. Know that your worth doesn't rest on whether they come back or not. Your worth doesn't go down just because someone can't see it. You're not giving up on love by not chasing after them. You're just deciding to love yourself more. You should stand up for yourself, not because you're proud. It's going to be hard. Let's be honest. There will be times when you just want to call them, to let them know what they're missing. You're getting stronger every time you fight that urge, though. You are becoming more and more sure of yourself that you don't need anyone else to confirm it. To add some fun, think of yourself as a good wine. Fine wine doesn't follow people around the store, do you? No, it just sits there and gets better over time. People who know how valuable it is will come back for it. People, you are that good wine. When they understand what they've lost, let them come to you. Now, let's talk about the what-ifs. What if you can't help but chase? What if you think you'll never get them back? The truth is that if someone really cares about you, they'll see what they've lost. If they don't, you should not have wasted your time on them. You might feel in charge for a short time if you chase them, but it won't change what will happen. In fact, it might make it stronger. Instead of following, pay attention to yourself, which you can control. Spend money on yourself, your interests, and your health. This is where the statement comes in handy. Don't forget to tell yourself, "I am stronger than tomorrow." Every time you want to chase, tell yourself this phrase to remember yourself, that your strength lies in your ability to move forward, not backward. Finally, here's some Stoic wisdom. From Marcus Aurelius: "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you keep thinking about how to get them back, you'll only add to your pain. Focus instead on making your thoughts better and building a rich and satisfying life, whether they are there or not. If you never go after them again, it's clear that you know what you're worth and aren't afraid to live without them. And believe me, that kind of strength will make them wish they hadn't lost you. Also, keep the statement close at all times. It will be your anchor and help you remember how strong and resilient you are. When you want to chase after them, know that your strength is in being able to stand your ground and show them what they left behind. Affirmations are more than just words. They're promises that you will get stronger, smarter, and more sure of yourself every day. Again, tell yourself, "I am stronger than tomorrow," and let that power carry you away from the past and into a future where they wish they had never let go of you. Here's the next rule. If you have any questions or want to share a thought, a different point of view, or even a personal story about what we've talked about so far, please feel free to do so in the comments. Take charge by sharing your knowledge and helping other people. Also, if you don't have anything else to say, drop our affirmation in the comments if you haven't already to show your dedication. Just write, "I am stronger than tomorrow," and it will encourage other people who are going through the same thing. Friends, I know the first rule was a bit long, but trust me, it was the most important one to go over in detail. Even though the next rules aren't as long, they're still full of important information that you need to hear. Please don't let your work up to this point get sidetracked by other things. We're going to make real progress today, and the first step is to stay focused and dedicated to the process. Number 2, redefine your priorities. You need to change your goals if you want them to regret losing you. That's the second rule. It may not sound as important as never chase back, but trust me, it's just as important. This rule is so important that it will back every other rule we'll talk about. Let's start with a simple fact. When someone leaves your life, it can feel like the ground has moved under you. All of a sudden, the things that used to matter, your relationship, your future together, and your plans for the future, are gone. It's confusing and painful, and it can make you wonder what's really important. However, here's the thing. This is your chance to start over. Right now is your chance to really look at your life and choose what needs your time, energy, and attention. You are not just moving on when you change your priorities. You are choosing to build a life that fits your beliefs, passions, and goals. You stop worrying about what they're doing, who they're with, and whether they miss you. Instead, you focus on what you want to accomplish, who you want to become, and how you want to live your life. That's how powerful it is to change your goals. Take a look at a friendship. You put their needs ahead of your own all the time in a relationship, right? To make them happy, you might have given up on your own dreams, changed your plan to fit theirs, or even changed parts of yourself. However, since they're no longer there, you can put yourself first again, which is not only empowering, but also important. By turning your attention from them to yourself, you're showing the universe that you deserve the same love and care that you gave to someone else. I can't say enough good things about people who know how valuable they are and aren't afraid to put their own happiness first. Let's talk about how you can use this in your everyday life. First, make a list of all the places your energy is going. Do you still think about and spend time on things that don't help you? Are you stuck in places, people, or habits that don't help you become the person you want to be? Let go now. I know it's not always easy to put yourself first, but every time you do, you're building a life that is better, more meaningful, and in line with who you really are. As a real-life example, if you've been putting off taking care of your health because you were too busy with a relationship, now is the time to put your health first. Make healthier food choices and start working out that you've been putting off. Treat your body like it's the most important thing you own, because it is. Or maybe you haven't done the things you love because you were too busy making other people happy. Whether you like to write, paint, start a business, or learn something new, now is the time to get back into those hobbies. Do the things that make you feel alive. This will not only make you happy and satisfied, but it will also show others that you're living your life for yourself and not for other people's approval. But what if it's hard for you to change your focus? But what if the thoughts of them keep drawing you back? This is where our mantra comes in handy. When you want to go back to old habits, tell yourself, I am stronger than tomorrow. This isn't just a saying, it's a promise to get better and put your growth and well-being ahead of the past. Say it with passion and let it guide what you do. Changing your goals also means putting yourself in touch with people who will help you grow. It's time to look at your relationships and figure out who really makes your life better. If someone isn't helping you on your trip, it might be time to get away from them. This doesn't mean suddenly cutting ties with people. Instead, it means slowly shifting your attention to those who make you feel good and inspire you. A funny thought to keep things light. Picture yourself as the CEO of your life. Imagine being in charge of a business where every choice has to be good for the company. Would you hire people who waste your time and money and don't help the business grow? Of course not. So why would you let someone into your life if they aren't making you happy and successful? You should run your life like a Fortune 500 company, with a clear goal in mind and a steady flow of progress. As this rule comes to an end, let's look at Seneca's wise words. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. By changing your goals, you take charge of your time, energy, and life. You're making sure that every second is spent on the important things. This is how you make them feel bad about losing you. Don't chase them, but make your life so amazing that they can't help but see what they missed. So, people, pay attention to this step. Change your goals and pay attention to what's important, and you'll see your life change into something amazing. Also, don't forget to carry our statement with you as you go through this. Remember that you're stronger today than you were yesterday, and that every day you grow, they'll wish they hadn't lost you. Now, let's talk about our next rule, because even though the rules we've talked about so far are very strong, they aren't enough to change everything on their own. But when you add the next rule we're going to talk about, they can't be stopped. The way you deal with your life and relationships will change because of them. Let's go ahead. Number 3, master the art of non-reactivity. Now, let's talk about our third rule. Learn how to not respond. While this may seem like a big order, trust me when I say it's one of the best ways to make them wish they hadn't lost you. Here's the deal. People usually want a response when they walk away. They might be waiting for you to get mad, beg them, or even lash out. Why wouldn't they, too? It's normal to feel emotions, right? The really bad thing is that when you respond emotionally, you give them exactly what they want. And even worse, you give them power over you. You are showing them that what they do can still affect how you feel, your peace of mind, and your life. What if you didn't do anything? What if instead of letting what they did affect how you felt, you decided to stay calm, collected, and unaffected? Think about how confusing that would be for them. These people expect fireworks when they leave, but all they see is quiet and your unwavering calm. All of a sudden, the story changes. People don't understand why you're not responding or trying to get them back. That's when the guilt starts to set in, my friends. Think about this. When you're in a relationship, your feelings are likely to be strong, and it's simple to get caught up in the moment. You can choose to rise above the chaos, though, if you learn how to not respond. They'll see that you're in charge of your own feelings and not theirs, which is a very attractive trait, because it shows that you don't need them for your happiness or security. I know what you're thinking right now. In theory, This sounds great, but how do you do it? When you want to scream or cry, how do you stay calm? Being aware is the first step. When those feelings start to rise, stop, take a deep breath, and think about the bigger picture. Keep telling yourself that your peace of mind is more important than any short-term feeling. Say to yourself over and over, I am stronger than tomorrow. This will help you stay grounded, and remember that your power lies in your ability to stay calm no matter what. Laugh it off and keep things light. Picture yourself as a duck. Even though you look cool and collected as you glide across the water, you might be paddling like crazy below. That part doesn't need to be seen though. You should keep your cool and let them guess what's really going on. And if you need some Stoic advice to back this up, Marcus Aurelius said, "You control your mind, not events outside of you. You will find strength by mastering non-reactivity. It gives you back control of your thoughts, your emotions, and, in the end, your life." So, people, as you move forward, do this every day. The next time they try to upset you, or even if they're just watching to see what you do, pick calm over chaos. Pick strength over weakness. Pick to be in charge of the story and watch as they realize they were wrong to think they could scare you. Number 4, create a life of fulfillment without them. So folks, the 4th rule on our trip is a big deal. Make your life full without them. Now, this isn't just about moving on. It's also about making your life so full and satisfying that their loss seems like a small part of your story. First, let's be clear. When someone goes, you might feel like a hole is left in your life that can only be filled by them. But here is the truth. They were never what made you happy. You were. You are still that. The important thing is to realize that your joy, happiness, and sense of meaning don't come from other people. They come from inside you. Imagine that they leave, thinking that their leaving will break you, only to find that you're not only living, you're thriving. The life you're living is full of passion, meaning, and fun. Your heart is singing because you're working toward your goals and spending time with people who make you feel good. Being happy with what is and anticipating what will be is better than dwelling on what was. Take a look at a friendship. It's possible that your happiness in a relationship relied on them a lot, whether it was their approval, their love, or just being there. But now that they're gone, you can change your mind about what makes you happy. It could be about finally going after the job you've always wanted, going on trips you've only dreamed of, or just finding happiness in the little things in life. You become a magnet for success and happiness when you fill your life with things that truly make you happy. And believe me, you can't ignore that energy. Let's be honest. It's not always easy to live a happy life without them. After a while, you'll miss them and wish they were there to share your happiness. But remember this, every time you feel that way, you are stronger than tomorrow. You have the power to make your life whole and full, with or without them. As a first step, write down the things that make you happy and light you up. Then make a plan to do more of those things. Make sure your days are full of things that feed your soul, like starting a new skill, getting together with old friends, or just taking time for yourself. Spending more time and money on yourself will make you less dependent on other people to make you happy. Also, remember this piece of Stoic advice. Epictetus once said, "Wealth is not having many things, but having few wants." When you create a life that makes you happy, you become less reliant on other people to make you happy. You're showing yourself and them that you don't need anyone else to make you whole. You're whole. You're good enough. It is also possible for you to live a life full of purpose and meaning. As you move forward, remember to make your life something that makes you look forward to getting up in the morning. A life that is so full of happiness, growth, and satisfaction that it heals your heart and shows them that they were never the reason you were happy. You were always the only one who could make yourself happy. Number 5, always have a passion. Let's talk about the 5th rule. Always be passionate about what you do. It may seem like a simple idea, but it's one of the best ways to make them wish they hadn't lost you. Why? Because there is nothing more attractive than someone who is into everything in life and has a fire inside them that moves them forward no matter who is around. If you really care about something, whether it's a hobby, a job, an artistic project, or a cause, it gives you a reason to live that goes beyond relationships. In its own right, it shows that your life is full, rich, and important. Let's say they leave thinking you'll be lost without them, but when they come back, they see you thriving, deeply involved in something that makes you happy. It serves as a stark warning that you don't need them to be happy. You can handle more when you have a drive. When things in your daily life don't go as planned, it gives you something good to think about that makes you happy and content. Also, sharing your interest is easy when you're really into something. People naturally want to be around people who are excited about life and what they do. When was the last time someone moved you just because they were passionate about something? You should try to get more of that kind of energy. Finally, when they see you doing well, they'll understand that they were only a part of your life and not the most important thing. What was that realization? It's going to hurt. So, people, find your love, feed it, and let it be what moves you forward. Because people remember you when you're excited about what you do. Step 6. Raise your standards. Now, let's talk about our 6th rule. Raise your standards. Now is the time to stop accepting less than you earn and start expecting the best from everyone and everything in your life. When someone goes, it's easy to think that you weren't good enough and that things might have gone better if you had put less pressure on yourself. But it's not true at all. The bar needs to be raised. Raising your standards tells yourself and others that you know what you're worth and won't settle for less. Imagine that you stop going after people who don't see your worth and instead start drawing in people who do. You don't put up with half-hearted attempts, mixed messages, or anything else that doesn't fit with the life you're building. When people who don't meet your standards can no longer get close to you, that's when real change takes place. People who used to take you for granted will see the new limits you've set and understand what they lost. Investing in yourself, whether it's through personal growth, your job, or your relationships, is another way to raise your standards. Putting yourself around people who motivate and inspire you, and who see your worth without you having to show it is important. As the great philosopher Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. When you raise your standards, you look at your life and relationships to make sure they match your true worth. People, don't be afraid to set a higher standard. Raise your standards, and the world will rise to meet them. You're stronger today than you will be tomorrow, and you deserve the best. Number 7. Showcase your achievements. Now, let's talk about our 7th rule. Show off your accomplishments. This isn't a way to brag or try to show something to other people. The point is to notice and enjoy your own progress, growth, and success. People usually think they're leaving behind something normal when they leave you. But what if you begin to show off your achievements instead of hiding them? What if you showed everyone, yes, even them, how much better things are for you without them? Try to picture this. You used to put everything you had into a relationship so that it would work. You used to think about what you lost a lot, but now you've used that energy to become the best version of yourself. You might have found a new hobby, gotten back in touch with old friends, or just found happiness again. Don't keep these accomplishments to yourself. Tell other people about them. Write about the great trip you just took, the boost in confidence you got, or the happiness in your life. Let your life do the talking. When they see how well you're doing, they'll know that you're still moving forward, getting better, and living your life to the fullest, even though they're not there. This isn't meant to make them envious. It's about being proud of your own trip and the progress you've made. You need to show yourself and the world that you can't be stopped, and that what you do with your life, not the people in it, defines you. As you show off your accomplishments, remember our affirmation, I am stronger than tomorrow. With each accomplishment, you show yourself that you can do anything. That's the kind of trust that makes them wish they had never left. Number 8. Be smart about how you use social media. Now let's talk about our 8th rule. Be smart about how you use social media. These days, social media can be very useful, but only if you use it in a smart way. The way you act online can make a big difference in making them wish they had kept you. First, don't post anything out of anger or desperation. Don't send them cryptic messages or posts meant to make them jealous. And most of all, don't show how sad you are in public. Instead, use social media to show how much you've grown and how happy you are. Share real moments that show how your life has changed for the better, like a new hobby, a fun trip with friends, or just a picture of you having a good time. Think about this. As they read through their feed, they see you not as the person who got left behind, but as someone who's doing well. You look like you're in a good mood because you're smiling and with people you care about. This is the picture you want to show. It sends a strong message that you're not stuck in the past and are looking forward to the tomorrow. The important thing is not to do too much. You don't have to keep updating your feed all the time. It's better to have less. A few posts at the right times can say more than a lot of posts at once. Do not forget that social media is only a tool. What really counts is your real life. And as you use social media, remember our affirmation, I am stronger than tomorrow. Let your online profile show how strong and resilient you are every day. Number 9. Trust the power of silence. Accept the power of silence as the 9th rule on our way to making them regret losing you. This may seem counterintuitive in this world of constant contact. It's not enough to just stay quiet. You need to use silence as a strategy to change the situation and take back your power. There's a strong urge to reach out, explain, or even argue after a relationship stops. It's possible that you want to send one last message, have the last word, or end things. Instead of giving in to those urges, what if you chose not to say anything? If you don't want to fill the empty space with words, what if you let your silence speak for you? When silence is used right, it can be very powerful. Because of this, the other person has to think, wonder, and feel like you're not in their life. Think about it. They're used to hearing from you, knowing what you're thinking, and feeling linked with you through talking. Suddenly though, that link is broken, not with anger or drama, but with a calm, quiet separation. Not being able to talk to someone can leave a void that says louder than any words you could have said. In a relationship, for example, your ex-partner may expect you to reach out to them after the breakup to try to make things right, or to tell them how much you miss them. You choose silence instead though. They don't hear anything for days. Weeks go by and you still don't say anything. That silence turns into a mirror that shows them how their choice really works. It makes them face the space in their life that you used to fill, and that space often feels much bigger than they thought it would be. But that doesn't mean you should use silence as a tool or to control someone. Instead, see it as a way to keep your energy safe, focus on your healing, and let them really feel what their actions have cost them. When you choose quiet, you show them that you don't need to be chased, explain yourself, or look for approval. Your silence shows how strong and self-respecting you are. And if it gets hard to keep quiet, remember our affirmation: I am stronger than tomorrow. Your silence is not a sign of weakness. It shows how strong you are. People should now understand the power of silence and let it help them see what they've lost. Number 10. Never put off taking care of your body. Finally, people, our last rule for this trip is one that is very important but often forgotten. Never put off taking care of your body. It is simple to get caught up in the emotional storm that comes with someone leaving you. You may forget to take care of your body while you are focused on fixing your mind and heart. But let me tell you something. Your health is just as important, if not more important, in this process. When you put your physical health first, you do more than just look better. You also improve your mental clarity, boost your confidence, and make you stronger. Just think about how much better you feel after a healthy meal or a good workout. Your mind and body are linked, so taking care of one will always help the other. Imagine that when your relationship ended, you didn't give in to bad habits. Instead, you chose to make working out a priority. You start eating better and working out more often. You might even start doing things you enjoy, like yoga, camping, or dancing. You'll notice a change in how you feel mentally as you get stronger and more durable. When you work out, your body releases endorphins, which help fight off sadness or worry, and make you feel better and more in charge. Also, it gives a strong message when they see you taking care of yourself. It shows that the split hasn't changed you. The time you have now is being used to make you even better, to glow up in every way. And let's be honest, there's nothing more beautiful than someone who is happy with their health and shows it. It's not just how other people see you though. It's also how you see yourself. When you take care of your body, you show yourself that you value it and that it is important to you. This is where our mantra comes in handy. Say to yourself, I am stronger than tomorrow, every time you do something to improve your health. This is a strong statement that will help you stay committed to your goals and tell you that you are worth the work. As you go along this path, remember that your physical health is an important part of your general well-being. Do not let it be forgotten. Instead, use it to boost your confidence, improve your mental health, and become the person they'll always feel bad about losing. Now that we're done, remember that these 10 rules aren't just about getting back at someone or making a point. They're about taking back your power, realizing how valuable you are, and making your life reflect the amazing person you are. By following these silent rules, you're not just getting over the past, you're becoming someone they'll always feel bad about losing. There are many things you can do to become the best version of yourself. Some of these are not chasing people, changing your goals, embracing the power of silence, and taking care of your health. That, my friends, is what will really make them understand how bad their mistake was. You can commit to this journey by leaving a comment below that says, "They will regret losing me." This isn't just a statement, it's a statement of your strength, resolve, and your promise to live a life so full and vibrant that they can't help but see what they've lost. Remember to always keep our statement close. I am stronger than tomorrow. Each day you live, you change, grow, and become the person you were always meant to be. They may have left, but you're now walking into a future with a lot of options. Thanks for hearing it. If you learned something from this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who could also use these tips. Also, people, I'd love to know what you think. Leave your thoughts below, and let's keep this important conversation going. Your participation helps us grow and keep giving you what you need to do well. Stay tuned for the next video, and remember that every move you make and every minute you spend on yourself is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself.